You have a new book coming out called The Secret to Spiritual Joy.
That's right.
What's the genesis of that, and why do you see that as being important right now?
Another great question. So I began to notice a few years ago that Paul is constantly talking in his letters about being grateful, giving thanks to God in all things, overflowing with thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is everywhere. And if you get a yellow highlighter and you go through his letters and highlight all the times he talks about gratitude or thanksgiving, it's kind of overwhelming. And then I noticed a statement by Peter O'Brien, a New Testament scholar, that Paul mentions gratitude more frequently, line per line, than any other ancient writer. So I thought to myself, that set me to thinking, why is Paul so grateful? And then it was obvious the reason is the gospel, the cross of Christ primarily. At the cross is telling us that we all deserve crucifixion. Fundamentally, Jesus goes to the cross in our place and dies in our place. So the Bible is telling us that God's justice could only be satisfied by somebody taking what we deserve. And if that's the case, if we deserve crucifixion and we're not getting it, then whatever's happening to us in life is a matter for gratitude, even difficult things, because when we compare what we're getting with what we deserve, we're never getting what we deserve as Christians. We're always getting something better than that. And so we should constantly be overflowing with gratitude. Now, the problem with writing a book on the subject of gratitude like this is, it's like writing a book on humility. You don't want to do that, because people that don't know you think, oh, this guy must be really humble. And then they get around you and they think, you wrote the book on humility? And it's the same with gratitude. I can't live up to what I wrote there. So I'm trying really hard to be grateful, but it's been really helpful to write the book. But I think my writing of that book has made me very aware of the fact that it's made me aware of how often I'm not grateful when I should be. Maybe more so than I was ever aware of it before. So it's been a good thing for me to go through the process of writing the book.
Yeah, I have to think that's a really pertinent subject to what's going on right now, especially in light of what's been going on with America, with much of the gender deconstruction that's happening just culturally, but also what's happening politically in terms of marriage and outcry of religious liberty and all that kind of stuff, where oftentimes Christians can be more disheartened about what they're losing culturally than what they already have biblically. We're realizing a long line of kind of a Christian minority in our history.
Yeah, we even right now, because we're not very happy with the current administration. I don't think most Christians are, nor with the Supreme Court decisions. But when we look at what we've got here in the States compared to what most people have had throughout history, we're still living in, John Piper says, in the Disneyland of the world. I mean, our biggest problem is what food to eat. Should I have beef tonight or chicken or fish? Or we never have to worry about whether we have something to eat. And I have so many clothes. If I'd lived in the first century, I'd have had one suit of clothing, which I never washed. And I would have wondered every day, am I going to have food for dinner tonight, No central heating, no plumbing, we had no political freedom. We had Roman tyranny. So today we have good lives. So you're right, even when things are, the prospect of losing our religious freedoms are looming large on our horizon. Even if should that happen, we still are so much better off than 99% of the people that have ever lived. We should be overflowing with gratitude. And on top of that, God has solved our biggest problem, which is our sin issue.